Oh, it's so easy to answer because it's so strange. But it's actually in this book just being published called Takeover. People don't believe me. They think it must be Karl Mørck or Assad, but it is not. It's really a woman. And she's called Nikki Landsat, and she's the main character here in Takeover. She's my best figure ever, the one I loved most. And in so many ways, she looks like me, inside. She's a little too jumpy, a little too nosy, very creative. In my opinion, she's a charmer. She's sweet. I love her. She has a fantastic background. The only thing you can say is really the difference between Nikki Landsat and I is I was kissed before I was 27. Yes. Yes, you have to do that. Gestalting, it's called. You have to be the character you're writing about. So close you have to be. It's not always nice. I mean, to be the woman in a barman in the cage for 4 months, it was not nice, really. I identified really with the villains and with the murders, too. I saw them, throughout my life when I was a child. So yes, that's the short answer. I really interact with them. I am the characters when I'm writing. The best ideas is always in the morning, in the bed, just before you're totally awoke. I can recommend anyone who wants to make good plots to have an idea in the evening and to think about it, almost dreaming in the morning. You can solve a whole book within a split second in the morning. And in the morning in August last year, I suddenly found out what the last sentence in the whole Sonderliteratur is. And it's maybe the most brilliant idea I ever had. So, and it makes the whole series so logical. So in the morning, in the bed, just before you're totally awake. So lying in the bed and dream a little. No, I never use real models. Well, that's not true. I did once in Sonderliteratur. It's a neighbor of Karl Mørck called Ken, and he's grilling all the time. Winter and summer, grill. He's an actual character, and Karl Mørck is actually living there. But Karl Mørck, he's a true invention, of course, with a lot of characters, points from me, and also from people I met in my life, like the insane patient called Mørck, I met when I was 6 years old. He was good and evil. He killed his wife, but he was so sweet to me as a child. So Karl Mørck is a puzzle, and you haven't seen all the bricks still. Writing is never easy for anyone. Creative crisis I have from time to time when I do not have the time for writing. That's a crisis. But if you're talking about writer's block, means you don't know what to do, it doesn't exist for me. For me, writer's block is only two things. First, maybe you have nothing to write about. That's not good. And second, you're lazy. If you sit down and have a small idea and stay at the computer for hours and hours, maybe doing nothing, not printing, not anything, it will come. So it's only about technique to come back, but you need the time, don't you? Oh, I read all of them. Without Friends by Hector Malot was one of my favorites. It's all about an orphan boy walking around, I love that very much. And I read all the classics, but also the books of David Crockett, of Sorrow. I loved Victor Hugo, James Fenimore Cooper, who made a lot of Indian stories. I loved a Danish author called Captain Mayat, the kids in the New Forest and whatever. It was always with good plots, in my opinion. And I was a plot lover from the very, very first childhood. But of course, I read Winnie the Pooh. If I had to start all over, you mean, I would still be a rock guitarist. I would. You know, it's fantastic to be a musician, if you're good anyway, because you're interacting with your audience and you see immediately on the faces of the audience what you're doing. There's a long distance between my work now and to the reaction of my audience. And I miss that, of course. And I think I would have been very, very good. But the time when I played guitar, it was tough. A lot of drugs. And many of my colleagues, they died, and many of them took the hard stuff. We smoked some hashies, we did. Of course we did, everyone did. But the very day I realized that we couldn't play without, I stopped. And I withdraw from the whole scene. But it could have been funny if the times had been different to be a musician. But you know, my father said, you have so many talents, you see. Please do me the favor and follow them all, one by one. And I did. I did so many fantastic things in my life. And I don't regret any of my periods. So, and there's a lot of stuff I would have hoped that I would have done, like running a marathon or being an Ironman or something like that. But still I'm doing a lot of, except writing, a part of writing. I'm still having a company where they build zero energy houses of aluminium. That's my company. And I still have, you know, a software company and so forth. And people are working for me. I couldn't do without. I have to use my both creative sides of my brain. Yes and yes. I mean, the story of Assad, Karl and Rose, I wrote before Erbarmen. All the secrets turning into one long project of 4,900 pages. One story, one book, 10 chapters. It took me half a year. And I couldn't know whether Erbarmen and the later one would be success. So it was a tryout. It was a chance to take. And I'm still following what I made that, the synopsis. It was a synopsis of 100 pages, turning into 4,900 pages. The cases, I knew where on the dramatic curve the cases should be. First one on the platform, 2 tough, 3 action, 4 anecdotes, 5 social, 6 esoteric, 7 Rose, 8 Assad, 9 Karl, 10 firework. I knew that. But the cases can change for several reasons, like has been done, or more interesting things comes up. So I changed it 2 times, the case I would like to write about. Yes, I could, but look at the Bible. It was a thriller. A thriller like I do is not a crime story. Crime story is you are having a crime, you have to solve it. A thriller is to prevent a crime to happen in the end. Like the Bible. Did Abraham kill Isaac? Did Moses enter the Red Sea, and how? It's thrillers. And later on in the history of literature, the best ones were thrillers, and it was in the middle of the road. What they called real literature is not the real one. It's coming later, much later. Victor Hugo, Les Miserables. What will happen with Jean Valjean? Why was he being caught? Will he have his revenge? That's the end of the story. Alexandre Dumas, Count of Monte Cristo. Why was he put in jail? Will he have his revenge? That's a thriller story. So within the middle of the road, you can do any story. And you have to admit that Takeover is quite different from the Sonntag des Coup, quite different from Das Alphabethaus. So in my opinion, I'm doing it all. Even there's a poem in Takeover. I made it myself. I'm helping a person making my biography now. That's quite different. So maybe I understand this question. but I don't understand whether it's true or not that I'm not really writing whatever. I think I am. Eine Art Paradies, yes, could be funny, but I would like to put it into a thrilling genre. If you're talking about Sonderdezernat 7, yeah, I hope so much it will be next year from now on. I'm writing on it now, and I'm going to finish the manuscript, I hope, in March, the Danish one, and then we have to edit, takes a month, and then they had to be translated, takes several months, then it had to be printed and distributed and blah, blah, blah. I hope it will be here in a year, but I can't promise that. Thank you, and thank you to all my readers giving me those nice questions. I hope I will not disappoint you with Takeover. It's very, very different, but try it anyway. It's dear to my heart.